Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey. Happy New Year 2023, first video of the year. Here we go, and I'm excited because this video I was really trying to get it out for New Year's to be the first one, and I wanted to be special. So the game plan on this video, what I did was I concentrated just on this half because I wanted to do something special. Normally I've been working one section and then the other section back and forth, but what I truly decided was I want to make something special for you guys to start the year 2023 right with a great Dinkum video, and I'm excited for the ending. Probably the thumbnail already gave some part of it away how it looks, but it's exciting. Okay, so first thing, what are we doing? What we're doing is planting the fruit trees finally. And so the first one we started were the apples, and then we started with the blue fruit, and then we do cherries, and then we do the limes, and that's what we're doing right now. So that's the process. But yeah, I'm excited for this video. I'm excited because I think everything is finally coming together. Everything is shaping up together, and like I said, I was working really hard. You know, I was off Friday. I didn't have to go to work, so that was great. And I spent my time doing what I needed to do to make this video possible, getting the materials, and then recording, and now doing voice work, and just all of it because I was excited. And then I went and I asked my wife. I'm like, okay, honey, what do you think? Should I release it for the last video 2022, or should we do it for the new calendar year, the first video 2023? And she voted for the first one because I think it's such a, I think at the end, you know, I got excited. I truly got excited the way everything came out, the way everything is looking. You know, it's one thing when you're planning and you're building and you're the way I do it, you know, I have a notebook in front of me, and you do kind of the layout and you imagine. But when things are now getting together and you start planting and you see those things growing, and the ideas that you have for the sprinklers and then the lights and everything coming together, it was such a good feeling at the end. But we went through our moments that weren't that exciting. You know, you're gonna see it. Some of the lights that I was envisioning at first did not work, so we took those off, and then we went ahead and used another type of light. And then some of the decorations that I wanted, I went ahead and changed them a little bit, but at the end result is truly worth it. But it's not done. Even though at the very end of this video it almost looks completed, we're still not 100% done. Not even on this half, because there's still a tree line that I still need to make. We still need to finish kind of the back end of it, and we'll talk about that once we get to those points. But okay, so right now, all what you guys been listening to me, I just been planting all the fruit trees that we saw, and then I'm doing all the bushes on the side right here. So we did one side is gonna be red, the other side is going to be yellow. And yeah, so right here on the outside, what are we doing is right here we're doing the limes, and then on the inside it's gonna be cherry. Then we're gonna go to the next 2 square cherry, and then the next 4 again lime, and then the other 2 at the very end they're gonna be cherry. The reason is just a little bit different in the one end is because on that one end I don't have to put the cherry trees, because I have those bushes that kind of finish that row where the cherry trees would have been. But yeah, so even right now when you look at it, it's taking shape, right? Like you can see the trees, you can see the layout, you can see like the shape of how everything is gonna be curving, how it's making the circle, and then we got the line. So, and then I wanted to do a little bit more of an entrance instead of just being just kind of fleshed out. I just want to go a little deep, just give it a little more dimension. So that's why we fixed this right here. We kind of did a little bit, just it makes it look a little bit more fancy. So I was matching one end to the other because I already did this one on the other side, and I was trying to incorporate these lights They not work just yet right here, but we are able to use them a little bit more down the road. Okay, so one of the bigger projects that I really wanted to do, because every orchard that I see online, you know, they have their sprinkler system. Normally they're hoses and they're long, or they're up in the air and everything springs down, or it's just these humongous rigs that spray. So we don't have that in Dinkum, but we do have sprinklers. And so I kind of went with the bronze ones. They were a little bit quicker to make because I have more materials for that than the silver one. But in my opinion, and then you go and then you choose the one that you want, because you may not like this bronze the way they look, but you can choose then the silver one. But for me, the bronze one, even though they were kind of like the cheaper ones to make, but for what I wanted, because it's not for real crops, it's just pretending there's watering this orchard field so it can grow. And I want the water effect to happen every morning, because it's gonna look cool once we get to that point. So this is the problem. For me, truly, these ones, they kind of blend better. They look better than the silver one. I did make some silver ones, and I still have some. I think I only was able to make, like, for the materials that I have, maybe 30 or something like that. But when I placed them, they were really big, and it was too silver. And I like this bronze one because they kind of blend better with the ground, with the dirt, with the grass. It's just, for me, it looked better. And I needed so many just for this half alone, and I had plenty of materials. So I was like, okay, so this is the way to go. I'm gonna go with this one, and it looks really good. And yeah, and I'm excited. Once we get the water tanks in and all that, it looks really good, and it really got me excited. Okay, so the next idea, most orchard got like, some of them got like lights, like this poles like this with lights illuminating the area. So I was like, okay, this is kind of I want to do. And at first right here, I was like, okay, it's not looking too bad. I was like, okay, maybe I can incorporate these lights. But what was happening is, as I keep putting these lights, and for my vision, it was gonna start blocking a little bit of the view of the trees. It's just, I don't know, that there was something about it that I was like, I can't make it feel the way that I want it to feel. I feel like when the trees are gonna grow, because all the fruit trees, they're gonna be a little bit shorter than these poles, I believe. I think these poles are even taller, and I didn't want the poles and the lights to take the attention of the orchard. Now, like always, if you like it, that's great, because I kind of wanted to use it, but it's not my vision, it's not my style. And where I kind of wanted to place the lights to illuminate the area, you know, you do some separation. I usually try to go between 5 and 6 squares apart from each light post. That way, when they're too close, you know, when you put two other lights together, it gets really bright, like really bright. And I kind of don't like that sometimes. So that in most of the lights that I've been able to use, usually if I go 5 squares or 6 square away from it, then it gives that good light that I like. So, but at the end, I placed it kind of in the way I wanted to see the first layout, and how it's illuminating the area and how they're looking. And when I got to the very top, so I can look at it, I was like, no, I could not do it. And this was my original plan. This is what I envisioned. This is what I wanted to do. This is what some of the pictures that I have were inspiring me to do. And I didn't like it. I just thought, man, it's gonna take away from the view that I want of the orchard to have. I do wanna have lights. So I went ahead, just picked them all up, went to the next day, and I was like, okay, so I need to craft more of the garden lamps that I want. So in this video, there were a couple of times that I needed to go and craft materials that I needed to use. So I went ahead and kind of skipped those, because this video, you know, I came out real long. I know you guys like the long videos, but it was long. If I would have left everything, even crafting and all that, because I played for a long time, yeah, and yeah, so every time you're gonna see me going to the other island so I can craft, get materials and stuff like that. I kind of shortened that because I just don't want this to be so long. Okay, so the next plan is, okay, so now I need to plan to do the water tanks, but I knew I was not gonna leave them just like this high, just place them in the like that. I knew I was gonna sink them in. How low did I want them to go? I wasn't sure just yet, but I knew I needed to find the right place where one tank was gonna do this square, make sure I get the 10 squares in, and then where I was gonna put the other one that gets the 10 squares and to the other side, and so on and so on the other two sides, right? And so I think I went, if I remember before the video, that section of the video comes, I think I went 2 layers deep because I still wanted like you to see it, but not to be buried completely all the way to the ground. And then we work on the decorations and how to kind of hide the hole a little bit, and I think we came out with something really good that makes sense with the build. And once we get there, it's gonna be exciting to talk about. But yeah, we use 4 tanks for this build. It might have been a little overkill. I think maybe you could get away with 3 depending how you place them, but the way that I wanted to place them, I kind of want to place them in kind of in the center, in the different areas. And the way that all the trees are, the layout, you can't just place them and place them. But well, you can place them wherever you want, but the way I wanted it to be, you know, that when you look, it looks pretty, it looks good, it makes sense. But if you guys are following the build and you guys don't want it there and you guys want to put them outside or in the corners or anywhere else, go ahead and do it, because I mean that's the point of all these videos, is to give you inspiration, give you a guideline, and then you guys tweak it and make it better. Like I always say, I want you guys to always make this better than I did. I'm just here to help you, to inspire you, and to motivate you, and just so we can chat, comment, so we can, you know, just be involved together and keep building this community. But yeah, so okay, so here I was doing the first initial I wanted to see first, like, okay, this is kind of where I want them. I know I'm gonna dig them down, but okay, let me see how this will look. My idea was, okay, in orchards you have like, people can have crates or baskets or anything like that. And I'm thinking, okay, if I put crates on this over here, it's like if you go picketing and people can store there, and until we get more items in the future that maybe work towards an orchard, and like we can have baskets and stuff that we can carry, or to use more stuff for decoration, right? So I was like, okay, I kind of like the look, I like how this is feeling, so let's do it. So I went ahead and dug 2 down, then placed the tank back in there, and then right here, so we're looking at it because I wanted to have that little over, right? You have the bench, you have the crates, but I want you to see kind of like the water tank, just to give, if it's too low for me, I just think you just waste, and this one like this gives you a little bit of like dimension to the build. And of course, my take, you guys may bury it completely and like it flat, and maybe you guys do something else around it. You guys don't have to put crates. You guys can do a whole arrangement of flowers or something else. And if you do, like always, tag me, let me see it, because I'd be curious to see what you guys did. But okay, so we're continuing, right? It's gonna be the same process in all 4 of them. We're gonna do 4 crates, then we're gonna do a bench. But on this one's over here, I can't put like a bench on the other side, and I figure that I don't have to do the benches because they're kind of more hidden. There's not like a pretty seating area in there, and I don't have like a walkway that will lead to there. So what I decided was, okay, I'm not going to do benches, I'm just gonna do the crates for now. And here we just we're continuing the same process, and we're doing the same thing with the one before it. We're just gonna do crates. So the only one that has benches at the moment is the ones entering the orchard. And here is where it started to feel so much better. I decided to go with the garden lamps because like I stated earlier, I didn't want the light poles or any lamp to take the view away from the orchard. I want the tree to stand out. I want the tree to be the main focus, the view, that when you're looking from on top or from the side or from a helicopter in the future, I want that to be the focus, right? So I was like, okay, so let me make garden lamps. I already had plenty throughout the past. I made so many back when I was working on the greenhouse, and it's always good. Garden lamps are very good lamps to use in almost in any type of build, that they give you that extra light and stuff. And right here, this view, when I got up here, I was like, it's coming together. It's really coming together, and it looks really good. So here on this one, I didn't put it in every other square. I just went every other, just to have enough light that will look nice and it will look good, and it will illuminate that side of the area. And here is where I was testing. Not testing, I need to finish that back end, because that back end is supposed to look the same as the front. It's just I have the reverb, and I have like this rule in my island. I don't wanna, my goal was to never touch the reverbs. I want the reverbs to stay the way they are, because I like the reverbs, and I want to have a lot of water in my area. But I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna touch it or leave it the way it is. And I think once everything is full, once I got the other side done and the tree line, I want to make sure before I just fill maybe 2 lines that I need of the river, because I like the rivers. I like them. Why? I like the way they already natural are, the game made them, and I really love them. So it's like so I haven't touched it. It's one of those things that I still need to finish. I may have to do like a off-camera trial run, right? And what I mean by that, by off-camera trial run, is sometimes you can do stuff in the game, right? And you can spend the whole day just testing something out, testing material, testing something, and then don't save it, just quit the game, and it takes you back, so you don't have to undo anything, and because you're just testing. And that's another like another tip that you guys can use if you guys are unsure or something, and you did a lot but you don't like it and you have to undo it. As long as mentally you knew that was all that you did that day, then don't save the game, don't fall asleep. You don't even have to clean it up. Just go ahead and go back to the menu, and then reload the game, and you're back in the beginning. And all the materials that you use, you get them back. And it's a great little trick for when you are just focused specifically on trying something. And then once you try it, you know what you wanted to do, what you wanted to fix, and blah, 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 and then you can come back and do it. And it works out great. I've used that trick a couple times, especially during the courtyard. There were a lot of testing that I needed to do, and I didn't want to just have this humongous video for you guys of just testing and nothing's getting done, because you guys are following the builds, and I don't want it to take too much of the time. So that's what I do, and that's a little trick, a little tip, how my process works sometimes during the builds process, and that's what I do. Okay, so what I've been doing now, I'm putting the lamps that I use for the normal city, right, on the sidewalks. I'm going every 5 or 6 squares here. I can't remember exactly. I probably went 5 or 6. I kind of wanted to start illuminating the area on the outside, because I wanted to see where these lights, how far they were going to illuminate into the orchard, just to make sure that I have enough light at night. And right now it's nighttime. It's the perfect time to do the light work, and that's what we're concentrating, is just doing the light work. Here in the front, I was trying to figure out where were the best places to put the lamp. So normally, like I say, I go every 5 or 6 squares, but the way, if I did it that way, they were landing in a way that I didn't like the pattern, and I wanted to be kind of equal, like everything makes sense. So one of them, it won't be right at 5 or 6, and I just kind of just move them a little bit so they look prettier in design and where they're at. And once we did that, the front started to look really, really good. I know in the future, I still, if you guys are looking, the middle of the orchard is still not looking, it looks kind of dark, and all that will fix it later. That's something that we ended up doing more in this video. And that's why this video came out so long, because the motivation, the inspiration, the excitement to have this video
out for you guys and to see where I've been doing this project, this layout. So here's so here right here is a little test run, right? And I kind of like it. So I took them off because to do this, I wanna also do what I did in the front, just on the side over here. So I need to take all the sidewalk out. We're gonna, and then put those back in. We're gonna put the grass. I gotta take part of this mountain right there, the hill next to it. We're gonna take them off so we can do that. So that's gonna be another one. But guys, look at this. Look at this. When I first saw them on, and I was making sure like they all are on, it was such exciting. It looks so good. Like if you're in the morning and you're walking through here, you arrive and you're looking at, look at that, look at it. It just looks so good, and the trees are getting bigger, everything's getting fuller, and it's just coming out a lot better than I hope. And I'm so glad, because this one, I'm being honest, it was a little nervous, because you're hoping that everything is gonna look good and that's gonna come out okay. There's, you know, you're planning, you're working at it, you're measuring, you're trying to design something, a circle and this, and you have this vision of the sprinklers, you have this vision of the light work, and I was like, oh man, I need to make this I hope it really works. Okay, so here, right? So here I'm putting this path. Like I've stated, my inspirations, the way I do my builds is I go online and I type orchard and people picking fruit, and I look for pictures and get ideas and get inspirations. So this one, it was normally just gonna be an orchard, and then it became an orchard that people, like, if you imagine people come and pay and pick. So in those type of places, they got like a stone path and stuff like that around the orchards where people go and pick, and you may have some small seating areas but kind of far away from each other. And so I decided, you know what? So maybe on those, I can have a little walkway just leading towards the crates. So it kind of makes sense. Okay, here are the crates. So there's a little path. So if you're picking, you can store, or if you're just, I don't know, like, it just kind of makes sense for me. So we went ahead and did it that way. And I added the path. I'm looking from the top. I'm trying to see if I like it, like if it looks good in the view, and it looks good. And I'm very, very happy. So here we kind of wanted to have paths leading towards the bench to see, so people can sit and all that, because this is kind of like the side, but it's almost like the main entrance of the orchard, because it's like the oval area, and you're gonna have your seating and all that. But then it was looking a little different. I wasn't sure if I was happy with the benches the way they were next to it. So I was like, okay, let me take them off and let me put the benches, and like you're looking inside towards the orchard, just to see how that looks. And then I wanted to place a couple more benches in kind of more specific areas, like where if you will sit, you will have a nice view of the orchard. So I was trying to be more picky when it came to this, and not just place them anywhere that there was a spot available. I kind of wanted to make sense, like, okay, if I'm gonna be sitting here, what am I gonna be looking at? Oh, I'm looking at the water tank and the crates, and I imagine people like walking towards the crates and picking fruit, put them in there, or going to the crates and grabbing fruit. So and that's like my process, like envisioning, even though that's never gonna happen in the game. We don't have that many NPCs walking around and doing stuff, but it's just more like, for me, like logic, like more realistic, like how can this build feel realistic. Okay, so then I was like, okay, like always, every video I'm always trying to use these lights a little bit more, but I was like, no, this is the same problem. If I put them around the tank, they're gonna block the view that I want of the orchard. But I did put them behind these benches that I think it gave a nice little touch. That way I don't have to do like another type of lighting or there. It just looks good. It'll match the front, and then it's gonna match the other side when we work on it. And then we got like those lights surrounding the orchard, like marking the area. So then the next step was trying to decide, okay, so if I took the benches, I can still see around the tank. So I want to, okay, so let me put a lot of more crates around it. But then that made it feel a little bit too busy, too much, in my opinion. I was like, man, I don't know, I just don't like it. So I went ahead and took out more of the corners, and I think I like it more like this, 2 and 2 and 2, just 2 in around. But then we have those gaps, right? And we're gonna work on that, and we're gonna get there. But for now, I also ran out of crates to finish putting things around it, so I needed to make a few more. So and I think I might have done already. I don't know if we already skipped that, because I know I edit when every time I went crafting. But if I did, then I still maybe needed one more, or we were done. So we'll see when we get there. So here I'm just rechecking, and okay, so we finished. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, because I needed one more. So we crafted it, we came back and crafted a few more. I went ahead and cleaned this up right here, because I decided that I don't want just the normal sidewalk down there. I was originally gonna try to put a bench and then do some lights, but it wasn't falling center. And that's one thing that I do miss for Animal Crossing, right? In Animal Crossing, you place something and then you can push it one square, like you just push the item, and it's kind of cool, because sometimes I already made this design, and let's say I wanted to put this fountain, or I want to put like the bench, it's not gonna fall center. It's not. So then now I gotta improvise. Okay, what I want to do. So what I decided is like, you know what? I'm just gonna put a crate down here for now. Just for now. We don't have crates for way down in, so we just put a crate. That way it just kind of, and the crate makes sense because there's plenty of crates. Now, I never got around to it, but I'm gonna do some test runs on the crates. I'm trying to decide if I want to paint them. Maybe I paint some of them red, some of them blue, kind of specific colors for the specific fruit. Some of them green, red, and blue. Those would kind of be the colors I wanted to see, or maybe I prefer just the brown and how it looks. Guys, here we go. Next day, more water. Trees are getting bigger. Everything's getting fuller. Everything is looking nicer. It's just like, right? It's looking right? It's looking good. Okay, so here I was like, oh wait, I did those two entrances, but here I couldn't make that same style of entrance, like curving in a little bit, make it a little wider. So I was like, you know what? This is just like a little side entrance on the side. So we leave it the way it is. So here I'm looking, just viewing the area, see if I see anything that looks off to me. The trees are growing, everything is looking full, everything is working the way it's supposed to work. And I love seeing the sprinklers, I'll be honest. I truly love seeing the sprinklers run in the morning. It's just such a cool feeling. And it's a nice touch. And you know, the sprinklers, I remember when I first saw them in Dinkum, it was such a cool idea. And they're just running and they turn on, and it's, I don't know, it's such a neat idea. And I still like the way they look in the bronze color, or copper color. It's just, I think it blends better, and I'm happy that I went that route and I didn't concentrate too much with the other one. Yeah, the other one would, the splash would be bigger, but I think the splash of the water for what I'm envisioning is the right amount. It doesn't go overboard and do 2 squares to the side. It's just one all around, enough to do the trees like what you're envisioning. So okay, so the next thing I wanted to do, okay, I want to do a little bit, not too much, but we want to put a little bit of flower arrangement, just a little bit of color, a little, that way it's not just so green and all that. So the first one is, okay, I'm in the area and I want to do the red one, and I put it on purposely without the grass, just like they're naturally spawning in the wild. I think you first saw it. I did a test, the red and then on the grass, but I don't know, I didn't feel it. It wasn't, I didn't like it. So when I went ahead and did took the dirt out and put the flower like that, like how it spawns in the wild, but then you got the grass around it, it just hit correctly, and I was like, okay, I like it. But I didn't have enough, so you're gonna see me going out to the wild, and I was like, please let me find them quick, you know, because this video is already gonna be long. And I found some more, then I needed to find a couple more, and then another change that we're gonna do is we are gonna end up taking out some of the benches and do that way we have kind of like a two-tone bench going on. We got the hardwood benches in some area, and we're gonna have the gumwood benches also. And I think once I did that, the gumwood brought a little bit better in some areas where I put them. They look better than the hardwood in my opinion. The other thing that I like to do is I kind of like to put hedges behind the benches, like to have a little greenery, like a little wall when you're looking at them, and that's more taste. If you guys don't like it, you guys want to do an idea, you guys want to do another type of design, you guys may want to use crates, or you guys may not want to do anything, just place the bench, and that's just great. That's all comes to taste, that comes to what you like or don't like, inspiration or not. So here in the front, I'm trying to do a little bit of design work, right? I don't like the layout right now, like the walkway area. It wasn't feeling right. So I was like, okay, but what about if I do the brick flower boxes? And I started liking the idea, but then I remember I think it's gonna look better with the wood one, because I got more wood right now on this build, and I think I want to use that. So I was trying to find it because I know I made some a while back. So I went ahead, I found them, and I want to use them. And we're gonna take the brick out, we're gonna put the wood ones in, and for me, it complements so much better with everything else that we have around. We got the crates, we got the poles, and the benches are all wood. So I think it just gave it more of a feel to it that I truly did enjoy. But I still did not like the pathway. So I was like, okay, what if I do like a little bit of a offset, like you can only get one way on one side, and you can only get in the other side through one way, but they kind of block in. So you kind of walk the area, and then you go in, and then you walk the other area, and there's the same way to get out. And it's more design, it's more like, it's not practical. And I know I always try to make things more realistic, and I know it's like a little less practical, but I did like how one is longer in one side, one is short on the other side, but it's blocking the path, so you can't just get in that way, you gotta get in. And I don't know, like visually it was pleasing to my eye, and it felt great. So now as you're seeing, I'm taking out some of the hardwood benches and putting some of the good gumwood benches, and I feel like that gave it a little better look. It just didn't look too dark, and in those areas I think it feels better, and I like the way it looks. And then I was trying to see, can I place more benches anywhere else that kind of makes sense, that it would be a good place to sit. So that's what you see me trying, and in some areas I did took them off. I was like, no, that's too much, and I don't want this to be all about sitting area. Is an orchard, people are supposed to be walking, people are supposed to be picking fruit and walking around, cutting through the grass. So I don't want to have all these benches. So I think I ended up putting two more, and one is going to be right here, and then we're going to put one in the same spot on the other side. And then what we ended up doing is, I think soon we're going to start working on the last lights. And I was thinking, man, there's still that middle area, right, in the orchard that is dark. Like everything else is illuminated, but right there in that center it's kind of dark. So I was like, okay, I don't like the posts that I use already. They're kind of tall, and it just didn't have the right vibe. And then I remember that I still have some of the other ones that I made a while back, and it's the one that it looks like is you have like a lamp hanging off the post. And so I was like, okay, let me find those, because I know I have them, and I want to see how that looks and see how the lights look. And I only need to use a few of them, because now I got all these garden lamps all in the area that they're actually illuminating. And once we get to that and we start putting those, I'm telling you, it looked so good. I think it was because I didn't use as many, because I didn't need to. So it was, and where I put them, it were places that I wasn't truly blocking too much of the tree line and anything like that. And it really, and that's when it started really shaping up, and I was so motivated, I was so happy, and I was like, I can't wait to publish this build. I can't wait. I don't know, I love the courtyard, I love the museum, but there was something about this one, getting to this point right here, because I think it was a little bit more risky, to do the orchard because it's nature, and sometimes nature is hard to do. Some people do an amazing job using trees and all that. I found it's easier to build bridges and do roads and do more like a city vibe than doing a nice park, orchard, or grand view of layout for just nature. And I think that's why I got truly excited at the end, because what I had in my mind, the inspiration that I seen, and the way it's coming out late at night, just right now, looking at it again, even looking at it as rewatching, I'm happy. I'm truly happy, and I hope that you are enjoying and are able to do this, and you find it that is helpful to follow along and to inspire you to make this. And like I said, duplicate it all. If you need to duplicate it. But then when you find your inspiration, when you find that other thing that's gonna make it more you, more unique, more part of your island, then do it and try it out and make it something special that is so great in your island. And that's, sometimes I think about that, and those motivation, even that motivates me in my mind, thinking of you guys, how you guys are going to be pushing your islands, pushing your bills, making something that you guys didn't feel like you guys gonna be able to do, but because you're following along on the series, and then you are tweaking it in such a way that then your inspiration kicks in and you guys make something amazing. And that motivation alone, in my mind, in my own mind, motivates me to keep pushing my build, so you guys can also be motivated. It's like you give me inspiration, I give you inspiration. Every time you guys watch the video, every time you guys hit a like, every time you guys comment, every time we talk and we converse and we reply to each other, truly it's an amazing motivation tool that we all get. Okay, so let's get back to the build. I added a couple more because there were still some a little dark areas, and I really like the pole. They matched the lights in the front, the string lights. It's just everything was matching. It matches the flower boxes, so it just felt right. So then I wanted to do just a little design action, right? So we went ahead and make kind of like a column, in a pillar column that you see that we're doing right here with that little pass that has like that little flower arrangement. And it's not something that we have to do. I was kind of undecided at first, so I tried a couple times, but I think it did give something. And maybe I think I want to place something in the top of it. I don't know what. I haven't decided what can I do. I need to check the items, see what we have that we can work, or in the future. Sometimes I know I talked about it that I don't want to overwork everything, because in the future we're gonna get more items. So it's good to leave some things empty and work what you have and don't overcrowd it. And here we are now gonna do a final walkthrough and look at it one more time. Like I said, it's not done, 100% done. We still need to work on the tree line, we still need to work on some of the lights on the side, but we made it. I really concentrated. I wanted to make something special to start off the year. It's 2023, guys, 2023. And I think Dinkum, I think it's gonna keep growing. I think the community, the more people are gonna be playing it, the more people are gonna finding out. We're gonna get more updates. The roadmap is happening. James is working hard on it, and we gotta be excited. Dinkum is an amazing game. I cannot explain how amazing. I love the freedom. I love the way we can build. I love the way we can decorate, and it's just an amazing game. But here we are. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit a like, subscribe if you want to see more video, and we're gonna see you next time. All right, see you later. Bye.